Hello, my name is Cameron Houchins. I'm a first year bio pre-med major from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello, I'm Jada Eastler. I'm a first year biology major on the pre-med track, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Hello, my name is Nyla Gillis. I'm a first year biology pre-med major from Dinwiddie, Virginia.
So our presentation is about hawk migration and wind speed for fall 2022 in Corpus Christi, Texas. Corpus Christi is a city in Texas on the Gulf of Mexico. Its beaches are surrounded by two islands, the Padre and the Mustang Islands. Those islands are home to migratory birds. The climate in Corpus Christi is subtropical, which means the summers are long and hot and the winters are mild. The wind is pretty moderate, but the windier months are from October to July with an average wind speed of 10.8 miles per hour. Although there's 34 birds of prey species, 27 of them are seen in Corpus Christi, and most in-flight weather-induced mortality occurs in mist, rain, and snowstorms. Our research question was, how does wind pattern affect the migration of birds? Which in our hypothesis is wind speed will alter the flight path of birds of prey, causing higher migration counts on days with low winds.
And so now on to the methods. The data for our study was collected using field glasses to watch for birds, and a tally was kept of the number of birds and what species those birds belong to. And then we found that data on hawkwatch.com, and we collected the data for the months of August through November of 2022 in Corpus Christi. Then, using Excel, we created bar graphs, line graphs, and scatter plots to show species abundance, species count, and the species abundance related to wind speeds throughout that area. And then we created a species accumulation curve to visualize how thoroughly Corpus Christi is sampled within our study. And we did this to ensure a majority of species were accounted for in our study. And after creating this curve, we found that it plateaued at the end instead of continually increasing. And so now on to the results. Figure 2 shows a monthly comparison of species abundance for fall of 2022. So we saw that the highest abundance occurred in September, and the broad-winged hawk was the most abundant species for fall in Corpus Christi. Figure 3 depicts the monthly abundance in relation to average wind speed for each month. So we saw that in August and November, they had similar abundance in wind speeds. As you can see, they both have fairly low abundances with a wind speed at about 8 to 9. And then we saw that in October, it had the highest average wind speeds and then the second highest abundance. So their average wind speed was at almost 9 kilometers per hour. And finally, in September, September had the lowest average wind speed and the highest abundance compared to each month. Then in figure 4, we looked more closely into the months when it comes to the relationship between average wind speed and abundance. So figure 4 shows that relationship in September, and we saw that the abundance varied for each wind speed, but the highest abundance occurred at one of the highest wind speeds, and then, but contradicting that, a very low abundance occurred at the highest wind speed of the month, which was 12 kilometers per hour. And so finally, in figure 5, this graph shows the same relationship as figure 4, but for the month of October. And October was the complete opposite to September. And as you can see, the lower the wind speed, the higher the abundance. At the lowest wind speed of the month, it had the highest abundance. And that completely contradicts what we found in September.
So in conclusion, our hypothesis was not supported because in each month, wind speed affected abundance differently. In September, there were high wind speeds and high abundance, but in October, there were low wind speeds and high abundance. So the data contradicted itself. Birds of prey migration is actually influenced more by the time of year than it is by wind speed. And this study was conducted to fill the gap in research because most studies were conducted to see how birds were affected by inclement weather like rain and snow. But our study looked specifically at wind speed. Even though our results were inconclusive, a study conducted by R. Nussbaumer found that wind only affected spring migration and not the fall. So our next steps would be a statistical analysis of our findings and to look at the individual days to find a correlation between wind speed and abundance, because the smaller we looked at our data, the more specific our results became. When we looked at the monthly data in figure 3, it made it seem like our hypothesis could have been proven, but once we broke down the data into different months, we found that our hypothesis was not supported. So, on to our acknowledgements. Thank you to the Hampton University Department of Biological Sciences. Thank you to Dr. Dash for supporting us through this experiment and this study. And thank you to NSF for your financial support. And also thank you to Hawkwatch for providing the data.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.